All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome back. It's Wednesday, February 18th, now 2026, 1 o'clock Central Time. This is We Grow Wednesday, and we will be right back, guys, after about 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Little intro that we play so we can get some time to hit the like and share button because you have to wait till it's live to do that, unfortunately. So we're gonna get some, notifications out to the people, and if you could help us out with that, please do so. And we'll be right back to have a great show talking about health and wellness, and scientifically and scientificy and Scientology. I don't know. We'll get into it, but we'll be right back in 4 minutes and 50 seconds. Let's grow.
Scrolling through the noise, stories hitting hard, cutting through the void. Big Uck pulling strings, poison in the feed. What they're selling us ain't what we need. Posting articles, lighting up the screen, common struggle shared, know what I mean. Time to wake 'em now, see the hidden game. We grow Wednesday, hey, stop and look around. We grow Wednesday, plant it in the ground. Grow our own, break the chains, rise up strong. Knowledge in our veins where we belong. We grow, yeah, we grow. Every soul gotta eat, fuel the fire inside. But the cause of twisting truth, trying to hide. Processed lies on shelves, stealing our health away. New tech coming fast, showing us a better way. Community talking, sharing what we find. Self-sustainable minds, leaving change behind. Digging in the dirt or digging for the truth. We grow Wednesday, hey, stop and look around. We grow Wednesday, plant it in the ground. Grow our own, break the chains, rise up strong. Knowledge in our veins where we belong. We grow, yeah, we grow. No more blind, no more fed their lies. Hands in the soil, fire in our eyes. From seed to strength, we're taking control. Empower the body, empower the soul. Wednesday rolls again, gather round the feet. Health and wellness news, planting every seed. Growing food ourselves, growing who we are. Better versions rise, shooting for the stars. Big Food's empire cracks. We won't bound time. We grow Wednesday. Hey, stop it on Wednesday. We grow Wednesday. Hey, stop and look around. We grow Wednesday.
And we're back. Okay. It's February 18th today. So we kind of flew through February, to be honest. It felt like that to me. And it was so nice out today and sunny. Took the dogs for a little walk before the show. So that was great. It felt great. It felt good because I know the dogs need it. You know, I can go to the gym and run on the treadmill, but those those little fur babies, they need some of that. They need that street time. They need that, and not just them, but I don't know about you or how many dogs you've had, but I find that their claws are much more manageable if you've walked them around on the road, and
I never had a dog, but that's true. Yeah.
they don't seem to mind. You know, it's like they walk on. I'm sitting here thinking I could not run on the street barefoot, but that dog can. No, thank you.
Yep.
The little rocks and stuff. Anyway, guys, what's up? It's Wednesday. We've got Tala with us, of course, with her cool red beanie and matching hair tie. I see. Very nice.
Blessed American in
Oh,
red.
yeah. You know, there is such a thing about mindset. You know, saying like going around saying I'm blessed, and you know, there is a little bit of there's a grift sort of to it where you're like public about it, always being so like overly positive. But if you say it to yourself, if you actually do um, give yourself more positive reinforcement.
Yeah.
Here's a question before we get into the list. And guys, like if you could like and share, send it out to everybody. And actually, I just had a request for the Rumble link, so let me do that while we're talking. Um, what do you do? And real quick, I'll show you. You'll get a kick out of the X now. Just shows like it's still on last week's Monday episode. It will not
No.
update to today, even though we are live though. So it is what it is.
So weird.
Uh, oh, so before I
Oh, there it is. No. No, that's not it.
yeah, you literally have to click on like my picture in order to get it. It's crazy.
Wow.
Let me send this link to Miss Dawn in the DMs. She said it works better in the DMs.
So I guess I'll
Uh,
copy that link and then post it for you.
I
That's
guess
weird.
so. Like I don't even know if you yeah, I don't know how to even share it. I can't even hit the like button for myself, which is sad, but I can't even do that. But anyway, my question to you and to everyone, comment below. Uh, what do you do when you're trying to sleep and you start to have negative thoughts? Do you like per do you like try to consciously keep trying to change the subject in your mind, or do you sort of work through it, or you know, a combination of the two? Because I remember learning that it's best if you don't try to steer your thoughts when you to go to sleep. I want to say Dr. Heath, maybe we talked about it on his space, but there's something to that where if you keep consciously trying to steer your thoughts when
Oh,
you're
yeah,
down.
like, don't think about elephants. Now you can't think about anything but elephants, right?
Well, that would be like the opposite when somebody's awake and they tell you that they hey don't think about this. But when I'm trying to sleep and say I try real hard to think about something specific, like okay, now I need to work this out. I need to think about what I'm going to do with this issue. And the more you do that, the more you stay, like more it keeps you awake versus trying to let your mind drift or wander, and then kind of drift off to sleep, so to speak, literally. So anyway, it's just a thing that came to mind
I mean,
before we.
to be honest, I don't have a huge problem with being inundated with negative thoughts anymore, which is why I finally shifted to teaching a sustainable mindset because that is your foundation for everything else that I teach. I wouldn't have been qualified to talk about it a few years ago because I was still stuck in that. So to say what do I do, I just don't end up there in the first place.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
that's just where I am now, you know? Um, so I have this mentor and best friend who taught me to build myself up. And yeah, that's where it starts. Like you can tell the difference between someone who is just saying something because it's the right thing to say. I'm blessed, I'm blessed, I'm blessed, because
Hmm.
they're overdoing it. And I want to ask, who are you trying to convince?
Right.
But that steps on
Overcompensating.
toes. You know?
Hmm.
Because if I start teaching again like I used to, there's a lot of bad theology out there, and I'm going to make a lot of people mad, you know. But it's a matter of making sure that you are in the right place with the thoughts in your own head, yes. And I believe in stepping away from everything and going out in the woods and being truly, truly alone if you are at a point where you can't shut that stuff off. I think that's very, very healthy. In particular, an entire night alone in the woods will teach you a lot about yourself. Most people can't handle that, but they should. Yeah.
So I agree. I think Kim has a good point as well. Kim Marston over on the Facebook says, push it aside or push it. Well, I think that's what she means. Push it aside. It's from the devil. So although you may not believe in good and evil, I think there are always going to be regrets in your life, and you can't just sit there and dwell on those and hope to get a good night's sleep, even if you do fall asleep to to those kind of things. You know what I mean? And so you, to
There's
some degree, you have to steer your thoughts. But I think there are plenty of like, so okay, I guess this is something else, and we're kind of working through this as we speak. But I think I feel guilty sometimes when I think to myself, I just want to think, happy thoughts as I'm trying to, you know, go to sleep. And I sleep fairly decently. I'm not trying to say I have any kind of bad sleep. I'm just saying that, like, I feel guilty that I am not instead using that little bit of time you have as you're trying to drift off to sleep to say, work on you know decisions of something that's coming up, like, hey, a project or whatever. Like, it's like, am I wasting my time trying to go, well, let me just think about video games for a little bit to try to, like, just, what I probably spend, and it's so funny because it's kind of like sex for men. I spend more time thinking about playing a video game than I do actually playing it, because I'll let that be a good distraction for my mind sometimes.
yeah.
I can't tell you, when I used to work at Sears Automotive, and I would literally just daydream all day long about Minecraft, because you can think in, like, grids. You can think in, like I could think out a project, or actually draw a little picture or whatever, while I'm at work, like if I'm bored or busy, not like kind of slow, not enough customers or something. And so I'd use that as like a distraction tool. But I feel bad. It's like, well, why am I not, like, thinking of whatever, some great financial solution to my problems or whatever else, you know what I mean? And sometimes you can't do that. Sometimes you have to let your mind sort of relax and not think about all the existential issues in your life. You know what I mean? And that's hard for me. And so
Maybe
I
that's the
guess,
difference is that like that's kind of what I do. Like I try to keep my phone nearby, but I try to keep either a notepad or my phone so that if I have an idea, I can make a note because I won't
right?
remember in the morning, you know?
That's
And so I
handy.
think that's what I do. Like the second I'm really relaxed, I'm like, I have an idea for a blog post. That happens.
Hmm.
People don't realize how often I'm typing blog posts from laying in bed before I fall asleep, you know, because then like the whole rest of the day is out of my face.
I'm not
And
getting that creativity at night. Like, I end up
it's probably
just
not
wanting
your
to unplug.
optimal time, you
Right.
know?
I just like to
Yeah.
unplug at that point. I'm just like,
Yeah.
okay, let me
What I want
just.
to respond to about that, you know, the it's from the devil. And I say this as a retired minister, okay? I'm a Christian. So, yes, I do believe in the good and evil and all of that. But scripture itself will teach us that not everything is straight from the devil. This is like I have systemic lupus. I go to the doctor. I say, "Doctor, this hurts," and they automatically. My doctor doesn't do this, but a lot will. They want to blame everything on the lupus instead of investigating further. And so we live in a natural world, albeit influenced by supernatural things. The definition of supernatural is more natural than natural itself. So keep in
Right.
mind that we live in a natural world, in a natural body. Some things are just circumstantial. So if we pin everything on that, we're constantly looking for the boogeyman in shadows, and it's not always there. Some things just happen.
Yeah, and you can't just, you know, spend your entire life in defense mode. You have to live, you know. And I guess I don't know. It's easier said than done for some people because you have a lot of these syndromes where it's like, I forget what that one is called, the phobia where you don't even want to leave your house. Like you can't leave your house. Like I couldn't imagine having something like that. And so fear can be debilitating, but it's definitely about you and mindset. Anyway, it's just kind of a thought I was having, but uh, we can get to our list because I think I found where we were at. We talked about the study published in the Journey Nature comparing the aluminum content in human brain tissue of people with Alzheimer's disease. That was our last story, I believe, last week. Because I don't think we talked about Finland taking a major step towards a future without plugs or cables by developing wireless power. Did we talk about that last week? I don't think we did.
Yes.
We did?
Yeah.
Okay,
That one I
because
remember.
I don't think we talked about genetic research has confirmed that children inherit most of their intelligence from their mother. I think we would remember that one because we'd had a big laugh and a nice little
Yeah.
back and forth discussion about
That I would remember. Yeah.
genetics. Yeah. And did you know, like,
Because genetics are of interest to me, so yeah, that would have stuck.
well, they're of interest to me too because obviously you might know I've said it before. Like, I would like to have more children, and there's a lot of things. Even as a man gets older, men tend to think, "Oh, I can do that anytime." No, there's a lot of factors that they're involved. I mean, like thinking about 20 years from the child's birth, are you going to be able to do things with them and get around and like how old are you going to be? But not just that, genetically speaking, things like my uh, what do you call them? Allergies. My allergies can get passed on, and I developed those later in
Oh,
life,
yeah.
and so my
Yeah.
daughter didn't get those. But then things like if I was to be obese or if I don't turn my own health around, those markers can be passed on genetically as well. And
Hmm.
this is talking specifically intelligence, but there's a
But
bunch
that
of little
almost
things,
like I want to say that sounds like, nature versus nurture is creeping into that.
right, Rose?
And it's always both, you know? There's always factors from both.
Oh, thanks, Don. Agoraphobia. Agoraphobia
Agoraphobia.
is agoraphobia. That's it. Yeah, not being able to leave the
Yeah.
home. That's intense. What's
Huh.
up, Andrew? Come on over to Rumble, my guy. That's where the party's at today. We did get to 20 people, I see, so we will spin the door prize. That's my minimum. That's my bare minimum. I'm like, I'm no longer doing this unless we can get a little bit of audience participation, get ourselves up to 20, which I think we
I
might
cannot
have.
figure out why. I guess it's just, like I've pointed out before, my increased visibility this month, but it seems like the trolling is worse.
Hmm, I don't really
Like,
have
are
any
people
trolls
that
lately.
bored?
I would guess so. Yeah, maybe they're getting a little
Middle of
bit
winter?
of. Well, for us, it's like starting to warm up, so maybe they're just like
Yeah.
ready, like they're at the starting line, just ready, and
All the
they're
trolls
all
live in the
this
Midwest
energy. Yeah, there it is. All their energy is pent up
in
and
their
ready
mother's
to go
basement.
in their mom's basement. Uh,
Was that
Bright
my outside
bites.
voice?
Bright bites. I don't think I've read anything from them yet. Groundbreaking genetic research. We've read all this. Challenging common assumptions about heredity. I don't think I ever even thought about which parent gives most of the intelligence.
I
But
mean,
that,
do they really know? You know?
well, yeah, it just says groundbreaking genetic research. It doesn't mean, or it says has confirmed.
There's
So,
things we used to completely attribute to the father that they're now going, oh no, the mother actually contributes to that.
right.
Science is not always sure.
So your take is that this isn't necessarily set in stone, but it is at least a point of data.
Yeah.
The study suggests that while both parents contribute to the child's overall genetic makeup, uh, maternal genes play a disproportionately, wow, it's a long word, uh, important role in shaping cognitive abilities such as reasoning, memory, and problem solving. Researchers explain that this pattern may also help clarify why certain uh, am I reading that right? Hereditary conditions affecting cognition are more strongly associated with maternal lineage. I tell you one thing, Tala, I didn't get my height from my dad. So, I mean, I know I think I kind of got a little bit of in between with height anyway. I know that's not the same thing,
The
but
the genetics on my father's side of the family are quite dominant. We have pictures at the same age of my brother, my dad, the grandfather on that side, all the way up the line. There's a cousin that we got to know. We got pictures of his dad, and you almost can't tell them apart. It's freaky. And then my nephew somewhat, but then also if you put me side by side with my nephew, we look a lot alike. I look at my niece, she inherited some, so it seems like my dad's genetics just kind of took over most of the line.
that's what I felt like is that one person or the other has like a there's like a battle in the genes when you're having children, and whichever one has this sort of dominant genes, to use the
Right.
proper terminology, is the one that
Wouldn't you
sort of
think it'd be
takes
the
over.
person who's maybe healthier? Maybe.
Maybe, or maybe to the point of this article, maybe they're finding out there's like a say a whole list of traits that you get from your parents, and there's it can be broken down to dad or mom for every trait. I don't know if that's across the board. I don't know, like for instance, there's probably some traits that either parent can pass, like allergies or obesity. But there's probably other traits that, just in my guess, I don't know, spitballing here, but
With
that
obesity, they've actually figured out that a lot of that is gut flora, the bacteria, the little buggies that live in your gut. When you address that and improve the health of your gut, weight loss becomes really easy.
well, maybe I'm not saying it correctly because there is a genetic. What's the genetic condition where it's not obesity? It's called something else.
Oh,
Where, or at least maybe a predisposition to being obese. There's something about it that can be passed. And we'll have to ask Mr. Brock.
I mean, there are specific conditions. I'm trying to get the word in my head. It's lipo something. You know that could be inherited, but that's a whole other ball of wax.
If you become obese before as a man, or we'll say male, because AI, they think of us as this little rats, little baby mice in a cage. Let's see, become obese as a male, and then give birth, and then I guess
So here,
inseminate.
genes influence things like appetite and hunger signals, satiety, metabolism and energy expenditure, fat storage patterns,
Okay,
food reward pathways in the brain. So the majority of it is your response to the way that you manage food.
like the addiction of it, the addiction side probably. That's
Yeah,
what
I
it
think
sounds
so.
like.
There's rare single gene mutations like MC4R that can cause severe early onset obesity, but that's rare.
Hmm.
So,
I guess I was thinking of um, the glandular. Like there's a joke. There was always a running joke, like I've got a
yeah,
glandular
that's a
problem.
myth.
Yeah. Okay.
My glands. Yeah. Yeah, your glands are in the kitchen. I
No
say
problem,
this
Don.
as someone who used to be 100 pounds overweight, so I know.
Andrew's back. Andrew, come on over to Rumble, my guy. You'll make number 10. Let's do it. Okay, so I guess we don't have to read the whole study, but it is interesting. This revelation offers a fascinating perspective on the intricate mechanisms of inheritance, reinforcing the profound and lasting impact mothers have on the cognitive futures of their children. So, fellas, I guess you don't want to you don't want just that dumb blonde or whatever the old saying used to be. Like you just want you kind of need to pay attention to both brains and beauty. Who would
I would
just
hope so.
who would have thought? Who would have this whole time? Oh, I'll just pass on my, you know,
Well, and there is a point in that if you look at societies where inbreeding is allowed and even encouraged,
ooh,
what happens?
they get fucked up teeth like this, and they get all over the place. I don't know. Like, teeth
But
everywhere.
mentally, there are problems.
Yeah. Yeah,
We
there
know
was
that.
a totally, I don't want to say off topic because it's somewhat, but there was a TV show based on a comic book that I never read, but it was called Preacher. It was about this guy who comes back to his hometown. His dad dies. His dad was the preacher, but also kind of like, a stern man, if you will. And so this guy that comes back, like he's kind of a thief and a bad guy, but also becomes the preacher, and so he's kind of like have heaven and hell, and he ends up getting possessed by this forbidden being that was born between an angel and a demon. And anyway, it's a long story, but the whole thing is later in the couple, like a season later, there's this whole like conspiracy that the Vatican has a descendant of Jesus. There was that Jesus actually had a secret child, but they kept it a secret the entire time because they didn't want anyone to think he was impure, and so they kept his lineage alive. But how do they do that? Through inbreeding. And so they find you meet this like guy who looks like Jesus, but he talks like Doofy from Scary Movie or whatever. And he just starts peeing on people all the time, and just yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, inbreeding
We'll get some
definitely.
strange ideas. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
that's
mean,
it.
people can believe whatever they want. I mentioned this to someone recently, just yesterday. I think it was a conversation last night.
Hey, Hank.
Um, whether you, this is just the little mini bite teaching. Um, Jesus was a man. He was. Josephus wrote about him. We've got a historical document. He was a man. He was here. So your only decision to make for yourself is, was he the Christ? Christ is not his name. It's a title. Was he the
Oh,
Christ? Was he the Messiah? That's your only decision. There's no, I don't believe he was real. No, he was here,
I never
but
thought
was
of it
he
that
just a
way.
man?
I thought that was his name, Jesus Christ.
Nope. He is the
Like
Christ. And so when
God's
people pray
like
and they say in Christ's name, I cringe. You didn't say the
uh
name. So if you believe that you're invoking power in the name, you have to say the name. So that's the only
wow.
decision is he that individual to you? He was a man, he was here. It's in the books, it's history. So you can believe he didn't exist, but that's wrong.
Right, he
Factually.
definitely existed,
Yeah.
but you have
What
to,
was he? That is your
yeah, you have
question.
to
Yeah.
come to him in your own way, and however you can feel it. But yeah, so just you just blew my mind because I'm thinking, you mean God's last name isn't Christ?
It's not what a lot of people think it is too.
Yahweh Christ or whatever. Yeah,
Yahuwah. Yahuwah.
yeah.
Yeshua.
Oh no, okay, okay. A lot of different
Yeah.
like variations there, I guess. Uh, I guess we can stay on this topic for a second because there is a funny like sort of theory that God, the term God means group of designers, and that's why we used to be uh, multi-theists and
Oh,
multiple gods, and then until one of them, kind of took control and became okay. Now everyone's gonna worship just me, and I don't know. I mean,
well,
I have my own relationship with
Christian
God, and we can
Christian
talk about
theology
that.
is 3 in 1. That's 3.
Right, it's true. Group of
So,
designers. Yeah, okay, there
if
you
we
go.
believe that we were created
Trinity.
man and woman in his image, then we understand that God is both. One of the names means breasty one, in other words, a nurturer. That's female.
Breasty
People don't
one.
like to hear this.
Oh, I heard that. Yeah. Well, speaking of
This is why I
breasty
retired, because people don't like to hear the truth.
well, your truth. Speak your truth. Oh, just kidding.
That's what you end up hearing. That's
All
bad
right.
theology. No, yours is. Original texts, original languages, original culture. Start there.
There is so much though that is iffy about back then. It's hard, but yeah, there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot of research to be done. Um, but we will
And
move
I am
on.
still learning.
Yeah. Well, and it is interesting that if you don't find interest in it, and if you just find like if you find yourself getting angry in a topic, yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good thing to avoid the topic, whatever that is, religion, politics. Um, but at the same time, recognize that that's a problem in you and yourself, not you and me, but just like in general. And the issue is like you shouldn't really be upset by any topic. I
Yeah.
mean, it might gross you out. There might be a topic that's like, wow, gross. Don't talk about that. But any topic that's like, man, that really just you immediately go to like from 0 to 100 in like 30 seconds. You're just like, it really grinds my gears. Like that's not a problem with the topic. That's a problem
Yep.
with us. Like, okay, so this next story here it says carnivores make their own vitamin C. You don't. So this is an anti-carnivore diet, I guess, ad from the fruit people. If you were built for meat, this wouldn't be true. So, what do you think about us being omnivores? Like, we're
Okay.
omnivores. We're just that's the difference. That's why we're
I've done a lot of
omnivores.
study on this because, as you know, I'm ketovore now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so there is some validity, but there's an individuality factor. So, like my genetics, I feel better and I am healthier when I eat like my ancestors. I'm mixed, but I have the quote unquote Cherokee. That's not our name, but Native American. Specific to my tribe, if I eat the same kind of things that my ancestors ate, I'm much better. A lot of that is meat. Um, I follow a few accounts that are self proclaimed carnivore, but they're also reasonable individuals who they're not the, oh my God, you ate a blueberry, you're getting kicked out of the club. They're they're not
Oh,
like
wow.
that,
Yeah. Gatekeep.
because there are strict people. The lion diet is only beef and salt.
Mm,
To me, that's a little much,
it's a
but
little much. Yeah.
I'm not going to tell somebody else that they can't or shouldn't. It's your plate. Same as when I went vegetarian. It's your plate. I used to cook meat for my family on the holidays while I was vegetarian. I didn't have a moral compunction about it. I was just trying to get healthy, and I did.
Was the smell weird?
So
Were you like,
didn't bother me.
it wasn't like,
Didn't bother me.
make your mouth water by accident? You're not thinking, and you're like, oh,
I ate meat for 50 years. No, I was at a point where I was in self control and I needed to be. So it wasn't even a
that's,
temptation.
that's good.
Yeah. It took me going 40 days without even fish to establish that control in myself. That's why I
It's
did that.
it's funny
But
that I like fish, but I don't eat enough of it. Anyway, go ahead.
yeah, I wasn't eating enough of it. Some of my labs indicated that, so I'm working on that now.
Hmm.
But the interesting thing is, Sama is one of the accounts that I follow, and he's actually quite well educated on this. And I understand what he's saying. There are certain plants that we are not designed to readily consume and utilize. Anti-nutrients is a real thing. I already knew this before I went this direction. For example, some people, the problem they have with nightshades, it can be very individual. As an autoimmune patient, they'll automatically say you should avoid nightshades. Not necessarily true. Potatoes do not hurt me. I am conscientious because I'm
Potato,
now on
potato.
keto to chill them after I cook them to form resistant starches, but that's because I want to stay in ketosis. Never have I had any bad reaction to a potato. But with tomatoes, it may be debatable because the highest count of lectins is in the seeds. So what people do is scoop the seeds out.
But then what are
Legitimately.
you eating? You're just eating the husk?
I know you lose some of the moisture and stuff, but there is actually quite a bit of flesh.
Soft, gooey part in the middle.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're right. You get some
which I
flesh.
don't have a problem with, but some people actually find that, like, if they have rheumatoid arthritis and they react to tomatoes, scoop the seeds out, they don't react.
That's
So
a sad
anti-nutrients
allergy.
are legit, you
Yeah.
know? And you do what you have to maintain, and keep symptoms down. But what he talks about in his posts is the ruminant eats those foods and breaks down the problematic substances, to put it in just very basic terms, and then those nutrients are available in the meat. Now, how much of it is the question? It is true that there's not very much vitamin C in beef. Okay, I will be the first one to say that. Which is why, if I want a snack late at night, I'm going to get my Greek yogurt and put fresh blueberries in it. I'm not adding sugar. I'm adding actual fresh fruit
Food is
with
good.
its fiber.
Food by the
Yeah,
foot. That's it. Yeah. I'm just
that's
kidding.
the
Yeah.
so that's the way to.
They're both spelled the
We're
same. Two,
already we're
two,
already
di-
starting.
two different words spelled the same, guys. It's the same.
Food.
Food,
I have
football.
fruit. So yeah, fresh fruit. It was once in a while strawberries. If I buy a banana, I make sure I buy it green. There's a real narrow zone there between two green where it's tannic, and then it's just getting towards starting to ripen. So it's sort of green. Then it's perfect. Resistant starches. It's not, as much sugar. Those are
Mhm.
perfect.
The
So
resistant
the
starches thing.
reason,
We need to get better with that. But go ahead.
yeah. And the reason is because, Syndrome X runs in my family. I have that predisposition, and I don't want to be type 2 diabetic. I'm avoiding that. But yeah, I still eat fruit. I just don't eat a lot of it. I eat avocados. Those are fruit. What's to
Mm,
say? I'll have to take the seeds out of my tomatoes.
yeah.
Yeah,
Rose has
yeah,
that. Has heartburn. I know someone who
yeah,
can't have tomatoes. That means they can't have like Italian food a lot of times. Like there's
right.
just so many things that.
Well, oregano can be a culprit there. Some people don't. I can't eat oregano. Yeah.
Well, like when I say that, I'm thinking of pizza sauce. Even though it's not necessarily Italian. But yeah, you
American
get a lot
Italian
of
food, they drown it in oregano. That's why.
that too.
And they'll hide it under spices.
Oh, it's a
Yeah.
spice. It's just dried oregano flakes that they just. That's kind of
But,
how.
so the basis is the ruminant takes care of that breakdown for you so that you can actually get to those nutrients without the anti-nutrients hacking your system up. There's some validity to this because I feel better than I have in my entire life
Mhm.
just by focusing on it's a balance. You can't just, do not, let me say this real strong, you guys. Whether you have a genetic predisposition for autoimmune disease or not, do not go heavy protein without your fats. If you do that, you're going to hurt your kidneys. I've watched it happen. If you're going
Even
to
even
go
if you drink a
hardcore
lot of
into
water.
protein, yeah, no, you
Yeah,
need the fats.
I
If you
agree.
go hardcore
I'm just
protein
thinking.
and
Okay.
cut the vegetables out and you don't have carbs, your body is going to fat adapt. You need the fats. If you cut out all your carbs and go with just protein, you will regret it. Yeah.
I liked the part of carnivore where you kind of start craving the fat, the stuff that normally you wouldn't eat before. You would have been like, nah, I'll cut this part off. You're just like, oh, give me that. You start to feel very like primal and very sort of like I'll eat anything. And
And it's
I
satiating.
well, and Ty says, meat and salt. What better meal could a man want? But the lion diet isn't just meat and salt. It's only beef and salt, which like
Yeah.
that is limiting. And you can argue whether or not pork is a good idea, but things like
Well, they
other
do it
game
because beef
meats and
is like
fish and
beef has the best nutrient profile. I'll give you that. Now, where I differ from some people is there's some who are like Sama even will say, you don't have to eat grass fed. Well, maybe you don't
Better,
have to, but
right?
I need at least US sourced because
Should
I
is
do
probably
feel a
better.
difference.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
not flavor, it's how I feel after I eat it. If I
Hmm.
just get whatever from wherever, it's not good. But that's because
Like
I'm
he
an
ate some
autoimmune
rubber.
patient.
Yeah, it's like a weird. There's something else going on there. Like it's meat that's probably been sitting longer than it should have, and they try to keep dressing it up in the stores with some like a little bit of
They do
a
stuff to
little bit of
retain the color.
yeah, yeah. It's just I'd rather have the fresher stuff, and I get the whole like drive for us to have more convenience and more. But there are ways to process things that are healthy ways, not just when
Yeah.
we say processed foods, like where they're adding all this stuff that doesn't need to be added, but you can still process things, freeze things in a better way. And now
Yeah.
I'll give them this, and I'm sure this is the big reason that preservatives and some of these other added chemicals probably help the shelf life even when you're talking about frozen goods because there are you have a limit
Yeah.
on freezing some things. I know not everybody thinks that. Oh, it's still good. You're wiping off the freezer burn. Like yeah, there's a limit to even the
It
freezer. So maybe
depends. How cold was it and for how long and how well was it wrapped? And yeah, there's a lot of factors.
air circulation and filtration. Yeah, it's
You
true.
know, salmon is the best example of they do stuff to it to color it. Don't color my food, please. I'm grown. I know what food should look like. I
Yeah, I
don't
don't.
need color to lure me.
Why do we need the color? Yeah, the coloring is literally to hide something that we shouldn't. We don't. They don't want us to see. There's
Yeah,
never a
this
reason.
salmon is grayish white. Okay, it's grayish white. So is tilapia. People are eating that and it's complete garbage.
Or like the argument of cereal, like, well, we have to dye the cereal because the kids will eat it and stuff. Kids are eating Cheerios. Kids are eating, name. There's probably a half dozen cereals that are not colored or colorless.
GMO wheat
Uh,
saturated in glyphosate with
I,
sugar and colors. Yum.
I mean, and that's just the color argument. But obviously, I don't like cereal anyway. For like you said, the GMOs and wheat and the glyphosate. But that was just one argument of like, oh well, they color this stuff so that the bright colors will pop out and the kids will eat it. It's like, well, how about these other brands that are successful? Frosted Flakes, although that's sugar, I guess that's why it's successful. But you can
How
make it
about we don't
colorful.
feed them that though?
Yeah, I guess that was just that one issue that I was debating in my head because it's like, well, the coloring isn't necessary to make a colorful character around the
I
brand.
grew up on Super Sugar Crisp. That was my favorite cereal. That's not brightly colored. It's wheat. It's puffed wheat.
So
You
here we
know.
go. Are you ready to be triggered?
I know what it'll say.
It says carnivore dieters and meat eaters. We need to talk with a warning symbol and a stake. Did you know that true carnivores and omnivores, like lions and dogs, can make their own vitamin C? Species that rely on foods naturally low in vitamin C, like meat, insects, or grass, must make their own vitamin C. These animals don't need to get it from food. You, on the other hand, cannot create it. Your body requires dietary vitamin C found in fruits, berries, and plant foods. So here's the $1 million question: if you truly built to eat meat, wouldn't your body function the same way as real carnivores and omnivores? So they're saying that omnivores in the wild also do this. I didn't see that. Okay, fruits and plant foods aren't optional; they're essential, and this proves it. If you don't eat vitamin C, your body doesn't get it. Period, and you risk scurvy amongst other disease. Vitamin C is crucial for collagen production, immune function, and literally keeping your cells from falling apart. Guess where you get it? So
So
this is not true.
Sama
Yeah,
Sama doesn't have scurvy,
this is
and
not
he
true.
is fairly strict
Yeah,
as a carnivore.
I know a few people like
Not
that.
100%, but fairly strict. But the question you have to ask is how much vitamin C is truly necessary? Because we already know that, like, if you take a little supplement here, look, my vitamin C, and I do this because I'm an autoimmune patient. My body doesn't do what it's supposed to do. This is liposomal so that I absorb more. It's more efficient. I take a supplement because I already know that I need it, but that's my health profile. It's not going to apply to everyone. So, what if someone is much healthier and they don't need as much? Maybe they're getting enough from the carnivore diet with the occasional added fruit. Maybe that's enough for an individual who is very, very healthy. That's the way I see it. So humans are not we don't fall into a perfect category. We're definitely not carnivore. I will say that right. Like there's these other
Yeah.
subcategories. Obligate carnivores are like cats. They must eat meat.
Mm.
Um, it's been said that humans are more like hyper carnivores. So it's a percentage thing, like 90% plus or hyper carnivore 70% plus. So as a hypercarnivore slash omnivore, we are capable of eating a plant based diet. But the question is it optimal? Because the overwhelming majority of vegans are supplementing just like I am. I
Uh,
don't know if all of them are. I'm not saying that. Don't anybody misquote me.
right.
But the majority are supplementing because they know they need to, and because
Yeah.
it's easier. Yeah,
I don't know any. I don't. Okay, let me put it this way. I think it's pretty well known by now that it's not doable long term to be fully vegan. And now there might be some people out there that have gone 20 years, and that's
yeah,
great. But I don't know. I know that there's a lot
including
of
bodybuilders.
stories. I do not know any stories of someone who's gone carnivore for 20 years and having to revert back. Now, I will say that there are. It's a little bit newer. It's a little bit more fresher of a trend, I guess. But this article is wrong. This is wrong. It's from Freely the Banana Girl. Freely the Banana Girl. See, well, I don't know why I
So
thought.
she's
I don't know why I
probably a
expected.
fruitarian.
I don't know why I expected anything coherent out of the Freely the
Because
Banana Girl.
fruitarian is a thing too, so she sounds
Yeah.
like she's probably fruitarian, yeah.
Hmm. Yep.
Which,
Fruits,
again,
citrus.
it's a choice,
Yeah.
but
But
see,
it's
if I
also
did that, that would put me 6 feet under.
so
The
the
type 2
explanation
diabetes
I
would come
got.
in and it'd be over.
Right. Too much.
Yeah.
The explanation I got was that if you're eating only meat, you get trace amounts of these vitamins
Yes.
in the meat, and if you're not eating other things like such as plant material that you need fiber to digest, or all of the processed and over processed and chemicals and all these other preservatives, all the bad stuff, if you're not eating all of that, you're just eating good meats, the trace amounts are actually you're actually getting more out of those trace amounts in your body than you were before, because
Bioavailability.
you were eating all this stuff that was getting in the way and actually flushing it out of your system and pulling it right out, and you're
I don't
losing
want
it.
to misquote, but I think Sama has been doing this for 10 years. I would have to look it
Yeah,
up again.
I know Jordan
Now,
Peterson's probably been doing it for at least somewhat close to that, I would say.
right. Carrie, one of my favorite, I want to say out of all the carnivore accounts on X, Carrie is my favorite. And I was so happy he recently followed me back. I was like, oh my gosh.
Look
I'll
at this.
fangirl.
I
His
didn't.
content is level headed. That's why. Because he'll saute onions to go with his steak. Not every time.
Right.
But I was like, oh, I do that.
Yeah, I feel like there's a healthy medium. Like I don't think I would have to go fully, but I think there's also we've talked about it before. But as a individual, you have to decide. Okay, let me break it down to like very few foods, and then slowly, like if I feel good, if I feel those feels good, okay, then you slowly add foods back that you might want to consume. And if you do it one at a time, just like a baby, then you find out, oh, that one hits me. That one's not good. I can't do that, whatever it is. And there you go.
That's
But
what I've done a number of times.
right, it's a slow
I
process.
found
But
out
hey,
what triggers migraines.
I just
I
noticed
found
something
out
that.
what was upsetting my stomach. I
Oh yeah,
found out what I needed to do to fix my stomach. This has been a long journey.
yeah. Wish we would have started earlier, right?
Yes.
So they didn't reply to me. She replied to almost every other comment, but not me. I didn't even notice until right now that I commented on this 6 weeks ago, and
Meat
I
has
said
vitamins, and she didn't reply.
no reply.
I know what some of the people that I follow would do with that. They'd be all over her.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't want to
You
be.
were being nice. You just said meat has vitamins. She can't reply to that. That's funny.
Yeah, pretty simple, pretty just like sort of dry
Just if you're gonna
facts.
teach
Like
something, back it up, right?
right, and I know what she said. Like there is some nuance to this because yes, it does have way less vitamins than say like an orange in vitamin C. Maybe yeah, like a ton less, but it also has no sugar and all that sugar. Even the natural sugar. Obviously, the natural sugar is a little bit different, but it is still you still can't just eat like you said nothing but
Yeah, mass amounts of it, unopposed for one thing, unopposed. Your fruits that don't have as much fiber are the biggest offense. Orange juice is a problem because if you're gonna drink orange juice, make sure it's a really small amount and don't get the pulp free. Are you crazy?
gotta have the pulp.
Okay? That
Mm,
you gotta
yummy
have
pulp.
that because it's fiber in there. So, but understand that you are omitting something. That white part inside the peel of citrus is where most of the bioflavonoids are. So if you're after vitamins and you think I'll just slug a glass of, especially frozen from, from
Oh yeah.
concentrate or whatever, orange juice, pulp free, you're hurting yourself more than you're helping yourself.
What if we could you? I don't know if they do this already, but like grind up the entire orange. Would it be too bitter?
Yeah, the 'cause
Like
now
a
I'm
like a
one of those.
smoothie? You know what I
I'm one
mean?
of those weirdos who will eat the this is the weird thing. People will buy kumquats and eat the whole thing because that's how you eat them. They're eating the whole thing, but they don't think to eat the peel on oranges and lemons. I will
Mm,
sit down with a lemon and a salt shaker and eat the lemon, including the peel,
mm.
especially Meyer lemons because they're
Salt
a
with
little
lemons?
sweeter.
Okay, I don't
Yes.
think I've ever. Mm.
Oh, I grew up doing that. But Meyer lemons are amazing because they're on the sweet side. And then there is a lime, a Mexican lime. I don't know what the genus is. I don't know the botanical name, but there's a Mexican lime that
It's on the tip of my
is
tongue.
sweeter as well. And
Yeah.
the friend of mine that I went to school with, whose mom first gave me one 30 years ago, she's so funny. She comes to about here on me and she hands me, she goes, "Here, Mija." She goes, "These are not like those green lemons in the store."
Green
And
lemons
she's right. They have great flavor. Yeah.
or rich flavor, just like a tomato from the
But
store
yeah,
versus a
the
garden.
peel. So, like, you wanna clean it real good if it's commercial.
Right, right.
Now you're talking about pesticides, so I just say eat part of the white inside. Yeah.
So I know some things can be made out of the peel. Like you can make uh, like
Yep.
alcohol.
Marmalade.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Pickled.
yeah. You can actually make I think orange cookies, and I think you use some of the
Yep.
peel out of that
Some
too.
people just candy it, like Russians will candy the peel and yeah.
Huh. Interesting. The peel is usually the most nutritious part of things. Just
Yeah.
like the not quite. It's the same as a peel, but like the outside of the bread. That people will cut off, or like the butt. The butt of the bread. People call it.
Heel.
Some people call it the heel. I call it the butt, but it's got the most
I've
nutrients.
heard people say elbow. I'm like, elbow?
The
Your bread
elbow.
looks like
How
an
does that?
elbow. What's going on?
Well, that's how it fits in the container, Tala. I have to fold it up. The full loaf won't fit. Uh, all right, guys, let's do this number spin real quick. Hit that like button. Let's share it out, guys. Let's hit the hashtag WGW, or whatever hashtag you want. We got 29 people in the house.
Woohoo.
Let's go.
Hollywood says I take a probiotic every morning.
Yeah.
It's a good idea. I will just say this, your best choice though is going to be getting that from food for sure. Fermented vegetables and yogurt. That's the best choice, really.
So, do you like silent film scores?
Silent films. What?
Yeah, check this out. You're gonna like it. I found out that I'm missing out with the customization of the wheel.
Oh, you know I
Silent
can
film
never
score.
hear it.
Oh, you can't hear this?
It really is a silent film score for me.
Wow, because I thought they fixed it. There's other people have come on recently that can't hear this.
Yeah,
Let's
not from here. If I go open one of the other apps, I can hear it.
well, you can get the gist from me doing this.
I'll just stay in time with you and pretend.
It was called Merry Go Round was the name of the song. There's a bunch of different music, and some of it's fun, some of it's like very jazzy, some of it's like there's a bunch of. This is more, black and white silent film, piano background. Number 6. Number
Who is it?
6. Let's find out who it is. Ta-da. That would be Alice. Alice Martin. I haven't seen Alice here today yet. As somebody would go ahead and tag Alice. Kyle, what's up, my dude? Let me put you on the wheel. Kyle, just to remind you, you do have a game night ticket for this weekend, this Sunday, our final round of Doors. Doors has been pretty fun. It's actually made me think of some other different types of things that we could do with it. We'll figure out. I got to come up with a new game for next month, so I better start thinking about it now. I shouldn't say it that way. It's not that I gotta. It's that I don't. I like variety. I like changing things up. I don't like
Yeah.
the same thing all the time. I do like to I like sticking to a schedule, but I also like to change things up and do something different. So I used to do it every week, Tala. Every single week I would come up with a whole new game. And now I'm like, okay, I can't do that. That's not sustainable. So now what I do is I make a new game for each month. So it makes a little more sense. Anyway, let's watch this little video here from Pulsetto. Looks like, did you know the headaches can actually be normalized after your vagus nerve gets stimulated? Ooh, I don't know a lot about this, so let's see what they
Depending
say.
on the type of headache, yeah.
Chiari malformation or cervical misalignment disturbs cerebrospinal fluid flow. It can trigger a chain reaction, migraines, dizziness, reflux, and full body autonomic chaos.
Very
I
loud.
spent 10 years helping people with unexplained dizziness, gut issues, and neck pain.
I can't take him seriously when he seems fake, like it seemed like a fake guy, a fake doctor. The way he's talking, he's like narrating
Probably an
this.
AI voice.
Yeah, exactly.
The kind of stuff that always gets
Right
misdiagnosed as
there.
anxiety. They
He
pushed me
almost
to
Okay.
looks
start
real,
saying this,
but
so
kind
now
of
I'll say it
looks.
here. You want to get real relief from vertigo, Chiari malformation.
You can't hear it,
or
can you?
chronic acid
Chiari
reflux.
malformation is real. I know people who have
Okay.
it.
Specifically, the cervical vagus nerve.
I know people who've had it like
Not as a gimmick.
corrected. Yeah,
Here's
it's
how it
pretty
works.
serious.
Gentle electrical
Falsetto,
impulses
supposed
target the
to
vagus nerve. It reduces stress on the vagus nerve, which controls
reduce
digestion,
stress on your
balance, and
vagus
heart
nerve.
rhythm. This isn't just about comfort. It's about restoring neurological stability from the top down. If you're dealing
Yeah.
with head pressure or imbalance, gut flares with no food triggers, dizziness that hits when you move your head, or that anxious, foggy, overstimulated feeling, try this for 10 minutes a day for 2 weeks. Pulsetto is on sale today with a 30-day money-back guarantee. No appointments, just clinically backed results. They don't want you to know how.
Okay, so that the rest of that is
I
kind
don't
of
know about the device, but
right.
I actually have some problems with my vagus nerve. So, vasovagal response can do a lot of stuff, and it can be painful.
I gotta write this down right now because let me just try it out on you real quick, Tala. Okay. So I've been having these migraines, and a friend of mine, I don't know, always has good advice. I asked them, and they said something about this vagus nerve. I said, well, I never been to Vegas, but I'm down to try anything once.
Yeah, my dad
Uh,
calls it the Las Vegas nerve, so you can remember it.
yes, the Las Vegas nerve. I'm just
It's
gonna write.
spelled differently, but
Well, I'm just gonna write it that way anyway. Vegas nerve.
yeah, it's VAGUS. Um,
VAGUS. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah, it's been the source of some issues for me, which is not unusual because um, I have that whole complex of hypermobility, autonomic dysfunction, all of that. Yeah,
So
so
I
it's
have a
definitely involved.
right, and there's a chance that it's a combination of things, so you never can be like, oh, this one thing's gonna. But
Oh yeah,
but I know
I
I
mean I
have.
have migraine disease, so
Oh, what that actual migraine disease? Like that's what it's called.
yeah,
Oh, I
people
know I
don't
have.
realize that it's not migraine is not a headache. Headache is a symptom of migraines. Not all migraines have headaches.
Really, because man, I should probably get that looked at further. But I've been to a neurologist and done all the you know electrodes on my head and all that. And they didn't tell me anything like that, but you never know. And sometimes you gotta keep on them about further checking. But they gave me medication and stuff for migraines. But that's just for the headache part of it, right?
Yep. Yeah, that's just treating the symptoms, which is sure helpful and sometimes necessary because migraine headache can be quite severe and it can be debilitating. But it's not actually treating the migraine. So I have Imitrex if I need to interrupt one.
Imitrex. Okay.
Yep.
Well, I don't know exactly about this product itself, guys, but interesting development.
What
Uh,
does it say it uses? The method of it, like what does the device do exactly? If it says.
I don't think it even said. Let's see.
Sometimes they
MCR
won't tell you because they
malformation
want you to
or
watch.
cervical misalignment disturbs cerebrospinal fluid flow. It can trigger a chain reaction,
Head a
myoclonus
little bit.
nerve. That's why I recommend Pulsetto, not as a gimmick, but as a cervical therapy tool. Here's how it works.
Here's
Gentle
how it
electrical
works.
impulses that
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
Okay.
target the vagus nerve. It reduces stress on the vagus nerve, which controls digestion, balance, and heart rhythm. This isn't just about comfort.
So electrical impulses that reduce the stress on the vagus nerve.
Okay, so I could see some validity, but of course, as far as the headaches they're talking about, that depends on whether the headache is from that issue with the vagus nerve. It may not be. There's so many causes of headaches. Yeah. So,
Don,
classic migraine, your blood vessels in your brain are engorged with blood and it's pressing on stuff.
right, and then you would think that cold is always the way to go, but I found like a hot washcloth sometimes. Oh man, it can be heaven. Don,
It's
go ahead.
cold here, the base of the skull at the back
Back,
of the neck, and warm your extremities if you're going to do it.
yeah. I guess I'm thinking more of like frontal headache, regular headache.
Yeah,
Um, so Don, I take sumatriptan as well for migraines.
that's what Imitrex is.
You have severe migraines, Don? I would say it's severe enough that's on my disability list, but it's also I've been able to mitigate or to address a lot of it by for one thing, me working at home means that I can do whatever I got to do when I don't feel right, when I feel bad. Like
Yeah.
when I'm at work or when I'm at, you can't always just go home. So sometimes you got to power through things, and you have things like triggers at work where one of my triggers is light, bright light, and so that's why sometimes you see me with these cool. People think they're shades, but they're not shades. They're actually just light blocking goggle glasses. They're not for outside. They're for just like blue light, you know, and they help me
Same
with.
as a seizure trigger. Yeah.
And these are things I didn't know until I was able to be at home, and keep a little bit more monitor of it, I guess. All right, moving on. This next story here we got from, this is the same thing, Pulsetta again. This is the doctor, Dr. William Lee.
You might know me from my work in food as medicine, but today I want to
You might know me from my spots on Duffman and on The Simpsons, episode 100. No, I'm just kidding.
share another powerful way that your body heals itself, and that's through your vagus nerve. What's the vagus nerve? Well, it's the longest cranial nerve in your body, which means that it comes from your brain and runs through your neck and chest, touching your heart and your lungs, and then goes through your diaphragm into your belly, where it connects to your stomach, your liver, your pancreas, kidneys, and intestines. Think of the vagus nerve as a communications superhighway between your brain and your other organs. Now, why is it so important? Well, the vagus nerve is the key player in your parasympathetic nervous system. That's a system that counterbalances your fight or flight response. The vagus nerve actually helps to calm your body, reduce inflammation, aid digestion, and promote sleep. Now, here's the exciting part.
It just makes you go to
You
sleep.
can stimulate your own vagus nerve to turn on
Put it
these
on.
calming effects. One device I've seen and used is called Pulsetto. You wear it around your neck, just like this, and it delivers.
And they paid me $100,000 to tell you this. No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, obviously he's there's some pitch involved in this, but that was kind of interesting to explain a little bit. I knew a little bit about the vagus nerve, but that's kind of cool how like it's touching a lot of your main vital organs, and
Yeah.
I can see that connection. I don't know though; it might be similar to this wackadoo kind of thing that my mom got sucked into, where it was like this med bed. Oh, you can lay
The
on this
treatment could
bed.
be junk science, yeah.
Yeah, you lay on this bed.
Um,
You lay on the bed, and it just repairs everything
the
for your
Emitrex
body.
nasal spray is very effective, very quick, but I couldn't tolerate it because, yeah, because you have to do it just right, or it's just nasty. You can
I have
taste it.
nasal spray, but I've never heard of that.
Yeah, the sumatriptan comes in different forms. There's and zolmitriptan is another one. All the triptan meds. There's one that is dissolve it in your mouth. Maxalt has one. That's the zolmitriptan, I believe. There's all different forms of it. I
I have a
just take
pill.
a
I just
50
swallow a pill.
milligram pill. Yeah, it's now if it's a really bad one, then I'll back it up with Goody's headache powder. If it's a really mild one, I just go to the Goody's headache powder, which is aspirin, acetaminophen, and caffeine in the right balance, and just I'm done with it. Which I rarely need anymore. I just don't. Um, so with the vagus nerve, I actually have a condition that has gotten triggered a number of times, and only once did I actually lose consciousness, but I'm very conscious of it, no pun intended. Now, I had just cooked dinner, went back to sit at my computer, had my dinner on my lap, and I had a Moxie soda, and I leaned back in my chair and took a slug of the soda, and that's when I learned about it because it triggered that nerve. And I woke up with my face on the desk going, the heck, I was like, I sat
Pass
up, I'm
out.
all, I didn't fall asleep. What just happened? Right? So it took me a while to untangle. And then I realized, oh, shoot, I was cooking dinner. And I was like, no, wait, I got it out of the broiler. And I looked down at
You
my
like
plates
track
on
it
the
down and
floor.
everything, right?
Yeah, I
Oh wow.
dropped it. So I literally passed out with my face on the desk. It's a good thing I was sitting down, right? It's called swallow syncope. So you can like take a drink and trigger that nerve and you can actually pass out.
Take from bending
So
your neck.
now it seems to be somewhat positional. Like I'm careful if I haven't had anything to drink for a while, I'll take a tiny sip because I will feel it start to kind of this pain going down that nerve. And I'm like, if it's bad, I will sit down on the floor because I don't ever want to like crack my head.
It's
So
funny. You
usually what
wonder.
happens now is I just kind of I'll lean against something or sit down and just that real careful breath through the nose, relaxing everything and that seems to get me through it. But I did legitimately completely lose consciousness once I passed out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. It's funny that it's like you hear about this. We're learning a little bit about the vagus nerve today, and Dawn says she never heard of it. And I think to myself, like, I wonder if I felt it, and I think that with a lot of different stuff that we've come up with, it's like, have I felt that issue before and didn't know that's what it was? You know what I mean?
Good.
And it's like
My
there's
first
different.
episode I was in my 20s. Some people think they're having a heart attack. The pain can be just like that.
Mhm.
And so that's why I encourage people to, yes, get checked out if you think something is happening. However, don't panic because a lot of people go to the ER and they're like, it's just your vagus nerve.
Right. And I can imagine it like say electrical cables. You've
Yes.
got your two prong little extension cord, and then you've got the heavy duty extension cord that you can take outside, and that's more like your vagus nerve, the bigger, beefier one, right? Um, Interesting though. It's interesting. We don't really have to listen to the rest of his spiel because he's talking about the this device again. Kyle had a question though about it. I'm not sure, Kyle. I think it's just vibration. I don't think it's sound. But obviously, those are very similar things. Kitty nerve. Meow. All right. So
Yeah, that girl.
buck meow. Gonna be a Cadbury bunny pretty soon with some bunny ears. Buck meow. I'll never forget that. The cat as a bunny rabbit. Okay, this next one we got from Explaining the World. Brain health. Okay, let me just read the main thing. Alcohol consumption, even a small amount, has been shown to gradually reduce brain volume over time, as research links each additional drink to subtle shrinkage in regions responsible for memory, decision making, and emotional regulation, demonstrating that no level of intake is completely neutral or for brain health. Wow. I mean, I drink once in a while, not very much. Like I might have a tall beer at a restaurant, or maybe even two, but very, very, very rarely. And not because I just value my health; it's because I don't like how it makes me feel anymore.
Yeah.
I
And
get instant
I
hangover.
reduced it so much. I'm such a lightweight now,
Yeah,
but I haven't had an alcoholic drink of any kind in over a year. I just didn't need it.
yeah. Well, and I'll be honest. Like I do use cannabis medicinally and recreationally. So maybe I just have like a replacement, and we're finding out nationwide, at least in America, that like younger people are not drinking as much, and it might, dare I say, might have a connection to the legalization of cannabis in some places. I don't
Maybe.
know. We don't know if that's good or bad just yet. I would, my personal opinion is that that's better than it was. Maybe having no substance abuse at all is the better thing, but I think
There's
less
an
alcohol.
awareness,
Right.
like we know
More
alcohol is
awareness.
pro-inflammatory.
And it's a toxin. Like it's just like
Yeah.
cannabis is not toxic. It's just that you can be intoxicated by something with
Yeah.
too like overuse of it. Just like eating too much spinach could kill you because it has an anti-nutrient in it, right?
Yeah.
There's a actual toxin in the spinach. Um, anyway, so this is talking about alcohol specifically. I don't think we have a lot of drinkers in my audience, but I think some of us do have an occasional drink,
Yeah.
and I think there's one way to, I guess, combat this or maybe balance this out, and that is always be learning stuff. I mean, that's what this show is all about. That's what I try to pride myself on. Like I don't ever expect to be like, okay, I'm there. I learned all of it. Like I'm at the end of the learning. No more.
Forever a student.
Right? Yeah. Like how some people are like so anti-school. They're like, no more learning from me. Like okay, well, I mean
In the
maybe
school of
like
life.
yeah, like that's never gonna stop. It's always thing. I don't think we need to really read the rest of this. I think it's pretty clear that um,
Yeah,
toxic.
I think most people know this. Like, it's just a matter of whether you care or not. I used to
Right.
joke because they used to tell you that you only use,
Kitty
X
kitty.
percentage of your brain. We now know that's not true, but the joke was somewhere around 20%. And then, if you drink alcohol, it can ramp it up. But presumably, even without that, by a certain age, you've lost approximately 20% of your brain capacity. My joke was, I just hope it's not the 20% I'm using.
Right. Well, wait. What's the new?
But
What's
it's
the
not
new thought?
true.
What's the new school?
We utilize
Fill me
so
in.
much
What's
of our
the
brain, and if we
different
didn't,
things? Yeah, different reasons.
you would evolve out of having it. You realize that.
Mhm.
And look at how many people who have damage to an area of their brain and then they rewire another part of their brain to take over. So
Yeah.
clearly it's active and useful, you know?
And you guys, she doesn't mean like physically rewire, but like there is a process that your brain can work around trauma and things. Like look at autism is a similar but not the same. But they with autism they're using different pathways that we don't normally use. And I think
Yeah.
that's a good example of that. It's true. Like did
You
he
hear that hiccup?
cat fart or was that a no just a
She was
meow?
like, "Er."
Don said, "Oh, pretty
Her
kitty."
vagus nerve is irritated.
I miss having a cat. Cats are very uh, most of the time are very cuddly, and my dogs just usually aren't.
He's
A
taken
little
a
one.
while to warm up like this. This is highly unusual. It took me 3 years to get her to this point because she was traumatized by another rescue.
Mm,
And so for her to come up and actually want me to pick her up, I mean, that's a first. So,
that's progress.
yeah,
It's good.
it takes time. You just have to be very patient with them.
I had my
Mhm.
cat was also very he wasn't I don't think he was I think I traumatized him, but he was feral. I'm pretty sure it was a feral litter that someone found like outside their house or whatever. And
Yeah,
so he was always constantly running around like he was in the jungle, you know. And he would love
yeah.
me, but he did not like anybody fucking else. And I kind of liked that, you know. It was like, okay, it was just me. It's my thing, right?
Yeah, some of my colony cats, they'll let me pet them when they're eating, but it's only me. There's one of them that nobody can touch him. He's finally like I used to be able to, but he decided one day, no, don't. And I would try to boop him on the nose, and he scratched the hell out of me. I was like, okay, boundary heard. So- but he's gotten to where now, if I put his food in his dish, he'll just kind of stop and sniff my hand. I'm like, but it's real tenuous. He's finally gotten to where if he doesn't feel like it and he wants me out of his space, he doesn't scratch, he'll actually slap.
Ah,
So that's a
so
little bit of progress, but I get that
that
he
is,
doesn't
yeah.
want to be petted.
I used to do stupid things like let my cat would wrestle with my arm and just scratch the shit out of my arm, and I would just if he was biting me, instead of trying to get away, I would just push in a little bit, like oh yeah, and he's like don't do that, just to kind of teach him. But yeah, I had him during the darkest point of my years post war, and I'm sure that I definitely. Was not the best owner at that time. I didn't like abuse him necessarily, but there were times where we would be, partying and drinking and alcohol and all that stuff. But those things, that was like a prerequisite in the military. Alcoholic.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to be a drinker. And I tell you what, none of those people I have almost zero contact with people I was in the military with, and I'm in this group, the the unit group or whatever on Facebook. Yeah, it is what it is. It's very strange, ostracizing.
Yeah.
Um,
Everybody handles it differently. There's a lot of people that, they continue with all of the drinking and all of those behaviors until they destroy their body and they don't have a choice, or they end up putting themselves in the ground that way. I've seen both, you know.
right,
The majority of the crowd that I hang out with from Renaissance Fair, a lot of them military veterans, and so I've watched the spectrum of it. Most decided at some point, "Yeah, I gotta grow up now." You know?
right.
Some of them driving trucks. You gotta stay clean for that, you know?
Some of those guys I knew in as army, in regular grunts, privates in the army are now like majors, and I'm like,
Wow.
motherfucker, I smoked weed with
Career.
you. I drank with you. I remember when you did that thing in front of me with your girlfriend. Like these weird things that I know about these people that suddenly are now like high ranking. It's like, well, hey, I feel like Adam Sandler in that movie Big Daddy, where they all of his buddies like they all kind of like went on to be big lawyers, and he's just chilling around, you know, hanging out with homeless people and chilling, spending his days chilling. Oh wait, I don't want to show you that yet. So
I had to
Tala,
grow up. I
right,
just had to grow up. That's it. Like when your own immune system's trying to kill you, you have a choice to make. That's it. I didn't want to die in my 40s, and
mhm,
I didn't want to be miserable all the time.
right, and you lose a
Period.
whole day, even when it was fun, like you lose a whole day the next day because
At least.
yeah, like at least or maybe a couple days hangover. I get a hangover like in the hour after I drank a couple of beers nowadays. But speaking of substances, though, Tala, I have a question for you. Have you ever? I might have asked you this before. Have you ever tried psilocybin?
No.
Well, you might want to now because guess what? Psilocybin may not just
I'm aware.
boost mood; it could slow aging and
Yes.
extend cell lifespan. New study
Hotly
suggests.
controversial, but I agree actually.
So the question is, how much, and is there
That
a
see
limit?
microdosing is where that's at. You know, yeah.
Is it like the more you take, the slower you age, and so then like people will just start taking more and more and more, like it just start ramping, like people will keep one
No,
upping
because
it.
there is a toxic element, you know. So, but
Sure,
you know, Cheech, Cheech and Chong, they have products, and they actually have because it's legal. There are all the other spectrum of compounds with legal for now,
right.
other than the one that is specifically outlawed. They have products that have all those other compounds from mushrooms. Yeah.
Well, I like that they are able to pick apart the compounds, but I also that also worries me because you end up with and I mean I'm a hypocrite by saying this because I do use concentrates with cannabis, but the concentrating of things, you're losing something. You lose stuff when you do that, and not just
Just like
concentrate.
wanting full spectrum from cannabis. Yeah. I
Right.
get that. Yeah.
Yeah. So like when they're able to, we've isolated this,
But to operate within the law.
Right. Exactly. That's
I am
true.
curious, actually, I am curious to try that product. I'm considering it, because I've seen the ads and I'm like, it's fully legal, so I'm real curious now.
They're saying that they tried this. This is from the Brain Feed. It says 2025 peer-reviewed study by Emory University and Baylor College of Medicine explored psilocybin effects on aging. Researchers found that psilocin and
Yeah.
the active form extended human lung and skin cell lifespan by up to 57%, reduced oxidative stress, preserved
It's gonna
telomeres.
affect telomeres. It's the
Telomeres,
telomeres that
yes.
fray and shorten. That's what shortens our lives.
Preserves telomeres and activated
Oh, there it is.
SIRT1, SIRT1, a key longevity protein,
Yeah.
in aged mice, equivalent to 60 to 65 years human. Uh, Monthly psilocybin treatment improved survival from 50% to 80% over 10 months. These results suggested psilocybin may influence core aging mechanisms beyond its known mental health benefits. Bottom
Yeah.
fact: psilocybin's active compound, psilocin, slowed aging in human cells and aged mice by improving survival, preserving telomeres and actively activating the SIR1.
I have
SIRT.
a book. It's on my shelf on my hearth, in fact. It's called The Telomere Effect. So I already had some kind of background in studying on it, and this is legit. So yeah, I find it pretty interesting. I actually have a friend who had at an event that I went to, he had offered it. I didn't need anything, but like he uses for anxiety one of these mushroom powders. He goes, no, he was talking about it being legal, like the stuff that is sold by the whole Cheech and Chong thing. So there may be benefits.
Yeah, I'm seeing that, and I think maybe there might be a combination of things when we're talking about lung health, like it was showing and talking about what did it say about lungs? It was. suggesting that it would help lung and skin lifespan by reducing oxidative stress. And oxidative stress comes in probably multiple ways, but it definitely comes from us smokers when we smoke things. And that's what happens in our lungs. You're getting oxidative stress. So I wonder if that combined with some of these other treatments, which I know I have in our list here of articles, where they have these different products now for cleaning your lungs, and like with all these different herbs and mullein and other things all combined, and in like a nice inhalable spray or whatever. There's a couple of them that I've got on this list, but I wonder if that can all be combined in some way. Anyway, it's positive. It's promising. I like to see, and I think there's actually some pretty breakthrough things that can be done with lungs specifically. But the problem is, and we talked about this last week with the heart, is that if you have a history of, well, yeah, I'm a daily smoker and this and that, like you just won't be able to get put on a list of like possible, possibly receiving those kinds of treatments a lot of times. It's like those are the people that need those kind of treatments, I guess. Or I don't know. You could have a person that through no fault of their own have lung issues that need need the treatment. So I guess that's not true, but either way, it's promising. It's good.
Yeah. I'm always open to exploration of that stuff. I mean, there's I have friends who are just adamantly opposed no matter what, any kind of substance that could alter you. Like, well, I
That's medicine.
mean,
Like,
vitamins can alter you. Let's
right?
be
Don't go to the
real.
pharmacy. Like,
Yeah.
if
I
you think,
take 5-HTP or L-theanine. Right now I'm on L-theanine because I'm just broke and can't replace my 5-HTP. So one of those, I get one in my system before I go to sleep so that I sleep better. Boosts the serotonin that's available and reduces the norepinephrine, and I'm functional. That alters chemistry, but it's perfectly legal and nobody is going, that's toxic. It's like
right?
you
Nobody's
can
like,
hurt yourself by drinking too much water, let's be real.
oh yeah, waterlogged. All right, this is a video, so I'm not sure if it's going to be loud, but reduced anxiety and stress by 28%. So another product. Is it the same? This is the Pulsetto again. Okay, we're not going to look at that again. But reducing stress and anxiety, that's kind of a new twist or a new angle that ad took, I guess. Let's see, personal workout plan for a perfect body. Oh, what we got here? Oh no, that sent me to a website. What? What? I can't just look at this.
Like an ad.
Yeah. What? Well, I'm not doing that.
Hello, Mr. Piglet. Hello, baby.
Another one,
Has
another
exactly what you
Pulsetto.
feel.
Tala, I don't know why I saved so many Pulsetto ads, but here's another one again. Reduces anxiety and stress. Just okay. Here we go. This one's different from sound effects. Just one can of energy drink a day might be doing more harm than you think. Well, this seems very obvious. I don't know. We don't need to spend much time on this. I stopped
True.
drinking energy drinks. I used to drink them, and I stopped doing that. Study finds daily energy drinks can stop 90% of muscle repair and block growth entirely.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't touch those. There is nothing beneficial in those things.
This person says just one drink a day does this. So if I drink two, I'll be fine. Wah, wah.
No.
Ah, me every morning with my white monster. Can you see this
This
guy?
is my boy that has the 1:30 appointment. You can hear him snorting.
Oh yeah.
We're evaluating whether he needs surgery yet. There you go, baby. Yeah, that's Piglet.
So they're talking about delaying your post-workout recovery and all this and that. I don't think we even really need to get into it, but
There's a lot that goes into that, but yeah, I don't think those drinks are beneficial at all. For
yeah,
one thing,
there's
because
nothing
most
good.
of them, they're either going to have sugar or they're going to have a sugar replacement, and you know what I think of those, right? So
Synthetics and stuff for sure.
also they're cramming vitamins in, and it's probably folate. We're back to that again. Or
Folic
sorry,
acid,
folic
folic
acid.
acid.
Yeah,
Yeah,
folic acid. It's not going to be folate. And then, all the other B vitamins they cram in there, and it's, 3,000% of your daily need.
right.
What are
Like,
you doing?
thanks. I guess is that helpful?
Your best case scenario is you're going to pee out the extra vitamins. That's your best case scenario. But I have watched more than one friend cause themselves kidney stones and end up in the hospital. Okay. My nephew did it to himself twice. You know, my buddy Nick twice.
There was a guy overseas in Iraq that was drinking almost nothing but Mountain Dew, and he got
Ugh.
stones because he wasn't drinking any water. Uh,
Caffeine and no water and all that high fructose corn syrup, it's deadly.
yeah.
Let's just be real, it's deadly. Yeah.
Um, let's see. This one looks promising. Be in our homestead. Here's a tip for all my parents of fruit goblins. Okay, I'm intrigued.
If you have kids that eat fruit like they don't know how much it costs and you have an ugly chain link fence, I've got the solution for you. Today I'm going to prep my blackberry bushes for the upcoming season. I'm going to trim away all the dead canes. Obviously, you can tell the difference here. Now, fair warning, if you plant these, people are going to act like you're committing a crime. Because when you say blackberry, they're thinking about the invasive blackberries. The ones that grow so aggressively they come into your house and take your family. But these aren't those. These are thornless blackberries, meaning they're not going to take over your entire property. All you need to do is use a couple zip ties to train your canes to go straight up your fence line. What's great about this is you
Hornless.
zip tie your primary cane, and then as it produces offshoots like this to the side, you'll then zip tie those down as well. And then what you have is a very under control wall of blackberries. And I really don't have any use for this cane being any taller than the fence because I want it to produce offshoots. So I'm just going to prune it. We're good to go. People might not have a lot of space for blueberries or things like that, but this, all you need is a chain link fence. And all it's doing is sitting there looking ugly anyway. Oh, look, you have something in common with it. Boom, roasted. And what's great about this is when your kid wants to eat a $6 carton of blackberries, you can look at them and say, go out in nature. Go pick some yourself. And make sure you keep the zip ties loose if you do this because you want the canes to be able to grow fully without being constricted. But anyway, this is your encouragement to plant some blackberries with your kids, to teach them about nature and the economics of how much fruit they eat. And at the end of the day, make sure you're following us for more homesteading tips.
Okay, yeah. So be in our homestead. Shout out. He threw some humor in there. I like that. We
I'm a
got to
big
have more.
fan of it. I don't have any chain link fences, but yeah, if I did, I would definitely do that. Yeah.
Okay, but let's be real though. You have a neighbor on the other side of that chain link fence usually. A lot of people do. And so is the neighbor going to get upset once the offshoots start growing into their yard and then they got berries everywhere and then
I live in the
like
city, so I mean that's the reality anyway. Where do you
yeah,
think I get
that's a
the
good point.
kumquats from?
I don't know
I'm not buying those. The
from the
neighbor
quat
let this
station,
huge branch grow over. I'm like, thank you very much, because I don't eat very many.
right? Yeah, that makes sense. But
What am I
but
gonna do? Throw them over?
I guess I'm being bah humbug, but my point here is that he's not even addressing that. Hey, you're gonna cover this fence on your side, but it's not like it won't grow. It's not gonna just grow through. You know what
So
I mean?
actually, there's a way to control that. So if you pay attention while it's growing, then yeah, anything that's going through, you can pull it back through and
Oh,
weave
that's
it.
true.
You
Yeah,
can
or
actually
just cut it
control it.
off or whatever. Yeah, I
You
mean,
just
I
have
guess
to
you can reach over
do
and
the maintenance while it's growing. Yeah. And
yeah.
unless it's something like mulberry, which is enormously messy, it's not a
Have a
big
good day,
problem.
Rose. Hey, Cullen. What's up, man? What's
Yeah,
up, you guys?
mulberries are messy. You don't want to do that to a neighbor, but unless they like mulberries, in which case you just go ask them, I would like to plant a mulberry near this fence. Are you okay with that? They
I
maybe they
love
want some.
mulberries, but they do
Yeah,
get crazy. They just
very messy.
cover the ground in like a purple reddish juice, and then yeah, it
Yes.
does get crazy.
And the birds
Yeah,
love them, so now you've got birds, which means you're gonna have bird poo.
I didn't know there was a blackberry that's thornless, that's really cool. That's good to know,
Yeah.
and to know that's the better one to have if you don't want it to be invasive as well. So I don't like the blackberries and raspberries because of the seeds. I'm not a big fan
Yeah.
of all the
Yeah, I've
hard
got
seeds.
dental issues, so I'm just trying to get my blueberries through to the next I'm hoping that they'll produce something this coming season. I don't know.
What is this? From Random Weird Facts. The future of dairy might come from the ocean. Food scientists integrated dulse, a protein-rich red
We'll see.
seaweed, into or dulce,
Yeah.
red seaweed into dairy products. The result: a blue cheese flavor that's more eco-friendly and packs more protein than beef cheese without cows, and it actually tastes good. Source: Journal of Food Science. Huh.
Let's double check the pronunciation. If it's Spanish, it's dulce, but I
I
do know what it is, but yeah.
I want to know if it actually looks like or if this is another fake, AI picture. Because I
Oh,
doubt
that's
it looks.
AI.
Yeah, I doubt it looks like that.
Totally AI.
What you mean? It doesn't grow? It doesn't the seaweed doesn't grow from the cheese?
Sprout.
Scientists made seaweed taste like blue cheese with more protein than beef. Okay, like there's so many things. It's like, well, how do they do that? They genetically engineered it, or did they just find one that actually had these characteristics? I mean, because
Dulls, it says. That's interesting.
those
Dulls. Okay. Dulls. Dulls. I don't know,
it
maybe it's
says it's a
dulce.
this says it's a protein-rich red seaweed. So that leads me to believe they did not add cockroach powder into it or anything for protein. There's
Well,
no
we're already winning then. No bugs.
right, Cullen. Everybody's got to eat, brother. Hell yeah. I don't know. I think I would try it. I mean, this doesn't give me enough information, but when
I
it says
mean,
scientists, doesn't that automatically make you think that they did some kind of engineering to it, some kind of not
tastes
maybe
like blue cheese with more protein than beef. I mean, is that dairy to begin with? Or are they faking it
it's
entirely?
not it wouldn't be dairy if it comes from a plant. They're just saying it
Yeah,
tastes
no.
like blue cheese.
Yeah, I'm not even gonna go down that road. Give me my grass-fed dairy, thank you. Yeah,
I can
that's
make
weird.
anything taste like blue cheese by leaving it in the fridge unsealed for 3 years. Blue cheese. I'm not a big blue cheese fan.
Rhymes with pulse, yeah, so it's dulse. Okay. Yeah, I wouldn't like look, I'll eat toasted seaweed. I have nothing against that. I eat sushi. I like seaweed wrapped sushi. No problem with that.
Toasted
But
seaweed. Okay.
that no.
The picture is throwing me off because I don't know what we're actually talking about. You know what I mean? Like
I
they're
mean, the
telling
point
me that
of
it's from seaweed, but they're giving me a picture of some fake piece of
yeah,
cheese.
that's weird.
And so it doesn't
The
make
the
me,
point of cheese is the culture
right.
and the dairy. So
Think
I
they
don't know
maybe
what
they
that
cultured
is.
it. Can you culture seaweed? I don't know. Let's see.
Not like dairy. Yeah, no.
I need to know more about this.
That's
This is
weird.
called, how do I spell it? Dulse. Can you tell me about dulse seaweed and how they made it into cheese? I don't think they actually made it into cheese. I think they just found that if you grind it up into a sauce or whatever, then it tastes like blue cheese. Dulse is a type of edible red seaweed. Scientific name Palmari
Plant-based cheese
palmata.
alternative.
Say again.
Plant-based cheese alternative.
Right. So it's obviously
Yeah.
plant based, but it also they say it has a lot of protein. Commonly found in the cold coastal water of the North Atlantic and Pacific Oceans, including areas like Maine, Ireland, Iceland, and parts of Canada. It's been harvested and eaten for centuries, especially in places like Ireland, where it's called dolice,
I saw
and
that, yeah.
coastal North America.
Blended
It's
with cashews or other nuts, coconut oil, nutritional yeast, cultures like probiotic bacteria. So yeah, they are using the culture, but I mean, it's just another plant-based cheese, which is fine if you need it. Some people are actually allergic to dairy. I get it. I've eaten plant-based cheese in the past.
But
It's
us
okay.
as meat eaters, we could combine this with our diet and like
Not if you're going to be actually carnivore and not if you
well,
want to
no, not if you're going straight
stay in
carnivore.
ketosis.
I'm just
Yeah,
saying that the protein benefits of this for any regular person that has just a regular diet could still benefit from eating more of this instead and
problem.
not just the
There's a
vegans or
problem. You
the
can
high
have as much
protein.
protein as you want in there, but if you go over 50 net grams of carbs in the day, you are not going to be in ketosis. How many grams of carbs is in that? It's plant-based.
Hmm. Well, not every plant is excluded from ketosis. You know this. Maybe it
Oh
doesn't.
yeah,
Let's see.
but it's just, the way they made it, there's the question. How many net grams of carbs? And probably not much fiber. I don't know. I don't know. That's the question.
I would expect more fiber than carbs. Yes, dulse seaweed does contain carbohydrates, but the amount varies depending on whether it's fresh or dried. Most people consume it dried or as flake powder, and it can differ slightly by source, harvest, season, or brand.
But also the nuts.
Yeah. Well,
See?
I mean, that
Yeah.
whole concoction the whole like the formula, I agree. It's not ketosis for sure.
Yeah.
I'm just saying this
You might
like
be able to get a little bit.
it doesn't have to be a vegan diet that to incorporate this. It can be
Oh,
a
no,
sort
no.
of
Yeah.
regular, diet.
But
Um,
I wouldn't do it.
right. I mean, I try it. I'm not
I'd be
carnivore
over
right
here with my real blue cheese and cheddar and Gouda and Parmesan and
now. It's
Parmesan
mozzarella.
Reggiano.
The mozzarella, zero carbs.
Recently really got into the Parmesan Reggiano because uh decent amount of protein in that. A lot. Yeah.
Wait, is that the same Parmesan that you would get like
Not the shaker.
not the shaker of Parmesan for your pizza? No. Okay.
An actual block of cheese. Yeah.
Do you think that stuff's any good for you? The not the block of cheese, but the shaker of like dust, Parmesan foot
I
dust.
try to avoid cellulose, just those additives,
Hmm.
and it doesn't need refrigeration. So what's that tell us?
That's very strange, right? I put mine. I
Yeah.
always put mine in the fridge, but I never knew that it didn't need. I guess I did know that because that's
Yeah.
where you buy it.
I mean, depending on the products, some of them maybe they have a little higher content of actual cheese in there. It could mold if you left it out, particularly if it's humid.
After you open
Um,
it the first time, they say to put it in
yeah,
there.
after it's open. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
that's actually what's kept me from buying any recently. I'm like, when I have soup, it would be nice to just top it with a little, cheese dust or whatever. But
it's
I'm
the
like,
real thing. Try it. You will love
yeah,
it.
I got
Yeah.
a cheese grater. We can do something like that.
Yeah.
Um,
It's
what do we got
tasty.
coming up here? This says things you don't know. Things you don't know. The rainforest found an unlikely defender. Uh, Johan, saying that right?
Johan.
Johan. Uh, Elish purchased roughly 400,000 acres of Amazon rainforest from a logging company and immediately shut down all operations on the land. The decision halted deforestation across a massive area and protected fragile ecosystems, showing how direct action can create instant environmental impact. I mean, yeah, I can if you're a billionaire.
We shouldn't be surprised at that, though. I mean, our two really valuable resources out there when it comes to plant life are the rainforest and the ocean. That's not new.
Well, do you think this really happened though?
I don't know. Like, it's so hard to know what to believe anymore.
Um,
We're
let's
back on the
see.
seaweed.
Did a billionaire? If I spelled it wrong, that's why I'm not a billionaire. Buy 400,000 acres of land of the Amazon rainforest. Instead of typing his name, we'll just see if this even happened. That's a lot of rainforest. It's essentially true. In 2005, British billionaire Johan Eliasch, chairman
It's
of the
probably
sports
Elias or something like
see,
that.
chairman of the sports equipment company head. Oh, that's the name of the company, Head. Never heard of it. With a net worth
Acronym.
estimated in the billions in recent years. Oh, okay, maybe yeah. Purchased
Huh.
approximately 400,000 acres, about 1,600 square kilometers, roughly the size of Greater London. So why does it say it's essentially true? This isn't okay. Of
Yeah,
things
when
like
when
rainforest.
an LLM or any search engine, AI, etc., says essentially it's because there's some little detail that may deviate a little bit. Um,
I think I found it. It says that he bought the logging company that I think that owned the land. So I think that's how it happened, which included a
okay.
plywood
So
plant.
it would transfer the ownership of the
Right.
land to him, I guess, yeah.
He shut down the logging and sawmill activities to halt deforestation and preserve the forest
It's smart,
conservation.
actually.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
the easiest way to do it, yeah.
yeah, because you can't. I mean, like, it's not like it was up for sale. So the company might have been up for sale, but not the
Yes.
land per se. So that makes a lot of sense. Yeah.
And if you're wealthy enough, everybody has a price.
True.
So he
Now,
probably just made, I want to accomplish this. I know how to do that. You. I would like to buy your company. It's smart.
what do you think the odds are that he bought it so that he could build a giant bunker underground, like all these other billionaires are
I
doing?
probably would.
Like that. I mean, think about it. Like, if all the places that you could build a bunker, wouldn't you build it like, I know mountains obviously, but like near mountains near like a rainforest, like where the most life is happening, like where the most of everything. So yeah, that's probably smart in multiple ways. Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, Tyler, we got time for another one, and see if anyone wants to get on the door prize wheel again over on Rumble one more time. Something like tofu, maybe. Kyle said. Oh, you mean like the cheese? Yeah. How do you make cheese without dairy? Yeah.
Tofu
Well,
has some valid benefits, though.
what
I
is
don't
tofu?
consider tofu to be frankenfood because it's been around a long time,
Right. It's not synthetic fake meat or whatever, but it
and they're not
is.
hiding what it is. Yeah.
Right. What is it though? Is it like a grain?
Soybeans.
Oh, okay.
Fermented soybeans. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Um. All right. Let's
Which is
see.
why some people avoid it because it does have plant estrogens. That's legit, but for some of us we may need that.
Hey, Ted. Plant estrogen. Yeah. I mean, we do need some. Okay. Here's another one of these. Like, young kid invents a thing. 15-year-old Ethiopian boy who created soap that could treat skin cancer has been named Times 2024 Kid of the Year. This comes from
Oh,
news, from things you don't know on
huh.
Facebook. A simple idea that world-changing potential. I don't know though. I mean, I'm sure it seems like it would be true, but let's see. Did I can't spell his name off the top of my head, so did a 15-year-old kid make a soap that treats skin cancer? Make it as simple as possible. Probably true. I'm guessing it's true. But treating
Yes,
skin cancer and curing skin cancer are different things.
true.
So,
Yeah.
yeah,
So he gained attention in 2023 and 24. And yeah, you're right for treating. He said, but it's not a approved treatment yet. How many times have we seen that?
they shelf it or whatever. You think that really happens? You think these companies will
I'm gonna
buy up?
say
Uh,
it's probably Hyman Bekele. That's my best stab at his
that
name.
sounds about right.
Bekele should be right for his last name.
He-Man.
Um,
His name's
yeah, I
He-Man.
know it looks like He-Man.
Dun,
That's probably a common joke for him.
dun.
We've got someone in the spaces community whose name is Olu Coyote. So it looks like coyote, but with a D instead of a T.
Huh.
Olu Coyote. I had to learn that one. He's a nice guy. His idea
Uh,
was highlighted for delivering cancer-fighting compounds through the skin, for example, using lipid-based nanoparticles to carry drugs like imiquimod. I'm familiar with that, which is already approved for other formulations in some early skin cancers. So the reason I'm familiar with imiquimod is because if you can't get this is stupid. You can treat plantar warts, the bottom of your feet, with salicylic acid, aspirin, but the insurance won't pay for it. How dumb is that? So
yeah,
you can
it's like,
buy salicylic acid in a lower concentration on Amazon, but it's not a high enough concentration to truly treat those. Imiquimod was the next suggestion that my doctor made, but I'm uncertain how I feel about it because I had what I think may have been a reaction to it. You have to be careful because it is an immune modulator. I have to be careful with those. So I don't know, but it's yeah, it's used for treating skin cancer. Yeah.
I mean, he clearly went through a lot of research to get to this because being able to combine things that weren't done before. Says he won America's top young scientist, a 3M competition,
Hmm,
$25,000 prize, honored
that's
by
very
Time
cool.
in 2024. 2024 though, you'd think that it would be a little bit more known, but at the same
No,
time,
because
it
they
doesn't
want to
say
bury
cure.
that.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you though. Do you think that truly happens? Not just medical things, but advancements in general. At like the big boogeyman companies buy the advance, buy the
Yeah.
patent or whatever, and then they shelf it. Or I think this is more plausible. They buy it, they own it, they shelve it, but then they use it for themselves. Like they still go ahead and they still make some of this stuff, but it's like in very exclusive circles that are allowed. And when I
I've
think
seen
of
that discussion.
right, I'm just coming up with it now because I
Yeah.
think things like one example is like someone made a battery that lasts like 90 years or something. I don't know. Obviously, I wasn't there. I'm not sure if it's true. But supposedly, there's a guy that made this battery that's like lasts forever, and they bought it out from under him, and and then shelved it, and oh, no one can ever have it. Well, I don't think that's the case. I think they being anyone of power that has access to these technologies or medical benefits are probably using this stuff for themselves. I would
Yeah.
just assume.
Sometimes it just can't be implemented, but I do believe there's, an element of that. But I
True.
mean, this is also the crowd that will say they have the cure for cancer. So this is just
Yeah.
my take. This is what I teach about this. And I feel that it has enough valid foundation from my years of study. Cures do not exist. There's no such thing as a cure. The human body innately has the ability to mend itself. Sometimes it needs a little assistance, such as antibiotics, without which I would already have died in childhood. Um, so, medicine should be an assist. When the body can no longer mend itself, we die. That's the process in the course of life. When your body can no longer mend itself sufficiently, you die.
Yeah, because you can't
Um,
just live off of like we can't actually long term like just have you live off of machines. And I don't mean just a
yeah,
simplistic like iron lung or whatever because we can do some of those things, but not
yeah,
every part of it. Not your immune system and your lungs and your heart.
yes.
Like we can't do all of it. Like it just would be
Even life-sustaining measures, like being fully hooked up to machines to keep you breathing and stuff, there is a limit. Yeah, the body is if it can't mend at all. Yeah, that's making me seasick. What is with your camera?
oh, because I look down and it's trying to find my eyes.
Are we dancing again? But yeah, if your body's not repairing itself anymore, then that's when your body will die. It's that simple. And so I do not like you'll never see with my campaigns the popular phrase waiting for a cure. I'm not. I'm
Right.
getting on with my life based on the knowledge that I have for creating quality of life, which naturally tends to result in more years as well. It's
Well,
about quality
continuing
of
to
life.
learn as you go, right? Like
Yes.
not just be like, okay, I learned some good stuff, now I'm gonna go with that, but like
Yeah.
continuing
And get
that
to the root of
process.
the problem too. Like, I'm very much opposed to treating type 2 diabetes with insulin. Unless you are at the point where you're literally going to die if you don't do it right now, but you should then work back from getting, you know,
Right.
into that to like get off that. It can be done. So I don't like this method of take this med, add this med. Oh, now you need insulin. And why is that happening? Because they in most cases, the overwhelming majority, they're still eating what they want to eat. And why? Because they know I can pop a pill.
I can just or
Don't
hit
do
hit
that.
myself with my insulin shot every day or whatever. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that and like it's easy for me to say this as someone who still does intake sugar, but I have cut way back. I like to at least give myself some credit. Like it's 3 o'clock right now, and I haven't had anything to eat today. Like I'm just drinking water, and it's not like I am trying to starve myself. I'm just not hungry yet. Like a little bit of like I'll get a little hungry. I tell you what, like
Yeah.
that's not bad for us. Like a little hunger is not bad for
Yes.
us. It's not the end of the world. Like, oh, I'm dying. But like hunger pain, that's a different story. I'm not feeling
Yeah.
hunger pain, of course.
There's only
Um,
2 days a week that I'll eat a little bit earlier. Wednesday is one of them because I'm gonna sit down here. I need that little bit of boost from the protein to be able to focus on what I'm doing, and I know that I'm gonna have to run and do other stuff right when I'm done. But then, Sunday, because the truck driver gets home on Saturday, Sunday, I'm gonna get up and make him breakfast. I'm already making the breakfast. I'm trying to be efficient, so I'll probably eat a little earlier in most cases.
right.
But that's only 2 days. The rest of the time, I don't eat until at least noon. There's no
That's the
reason
thing.
to.
It's like you make breakfast for other people, and you're like, well, it's there now. Like, I want to
It's
eat.
the energy efficiency thing because I'm trying to bring the gas bill down. It's that, and
Well,
it's like,
I don't necessarily know that I'm doing good by doing the intermittent fasting either, because I
well,
actually am
it's
seeing.
helping me.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, I don't feel that it's making a positive difference, but I do feel like it has helped me maintain where I'm at and not like get any sort of get
That's
worse.
positive.
That's yeah, that's good. But I also have seen a lot of people doing this thing like 4 meals a day, like tiny, like these little, you're getting these like
I used
little
to.
bits. Yeah, like I've never tried
1
that.
to 2. 1 to
Yeah,
2, that's it. I've been doing this for over a year now, 1 to 2 meals a day, and it was the best decision ever. Your body needs a long break.
do you
So
ever
if
get
you
breakfast?
rarely, that's like I said, like
I don't mean like
technically
at breakfast time. I'm talking about do you ever eat breakfast food? That's just in general. Like make yourself an omelet
most of what I eat is
or
steak,
or
eggs, yogurt, cheese, the occasional
yeah, it's
fruit.
kind of breakfast
That's
already.
about what I eat now.
Yeah, that's breakfast. Steak and eggs, steak and eggs,
I'm
steak and eggs.
satiated because I'm getting the healthy fats. Like I said, avocado, grass-fed butter, the fat from the meat, you know, buy the lean meat because it's the best value. Go to the butcher and ask for the fat trimmings. Make tallow. It's free. Now you've gotten the best value out of it and you're getting the fats.
I have a friend who does podcasts, and he's been on my show. But he was doing it. They were live last night, and him and two ladies, and all three of them were talking about losing weight, and he was talking about just cutting out all fat. And I'm like, fat is not the enemy, my guy. Like and
That's dangerous.
he made a good point, which I don't know. I mean, I didn't want to sit there and argue with him about it, but he said right now he's like, I'm just starting this journey, so I'm going to be basic with just eliminating as much fat as possible and then going from there. And I'm like, okay, I kind of get that because he's easing into it and he's just starting with trying to concentrate on one thing at a time. But then he also agreed. I said, like there's good fats and bad fats.
Yeah.
And I guess the main thing is just getting rid of all the extra stuff, all the not just sweets, but like
It's
all
about
the processing.
it's about calories partly because you get a lot of so you have to pick a direction. If you're still
Right.
eating the carbs, then eliminating fat may have some validity.
Hmm.
But if you're going to go that direction, I said this earlier, if you're going to do the protein, the meat, the animal-based protein, you have to have the animal fats because you're supposed to be 80% of your calories from fat, 20% from protein. If you don't balance it right, it creates problems. That's what
Create
I
too
had to
much
learn
lean
about it.
meat. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like a
just about at
ribeye.
my time limit.
Okay, well it's time to go. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah.
Got me in all up in some conversation today. All right,
I
we're
know,
gonna
right? It's a good conversation. We'll have to, yeah.
we're learning things. We're learning things on Wednesdays. You know what I mean? We got 25
Yeah.
people in the house. Shouts out, you guys. Hit the hashtag WGW if you think you learned something today, or maybe had a chuckle. You know, we try to make it fun because learning should be entertaining. Because it's like we all got to be here. We all got to live this life. So be entertained by finding something out new about this world we're in. All right, let's
Yeah.
do the spin. And actually, if you got to go, you can go now. I can do the spin.
Yeah, I'm gonna round up Piglet and get
Yeah,
him in his
yeah,
carrier.
got to get going. Got
Bye, you
to
guys.
First Light Warrior, guys. Go follow her on Facebook and go check her out on, of course, X and Rumble and all the places. So we'll see you next time, Tala. Thanks again. All right. Well, I better play some music since I don't have anyone talking to me. If I don't have any audio, the thing shuts off. We can zoom back out now. I guess I had to match Tala. She looked so much bigger than me. I had to zoom out and match her, zoom in and match her. Okay, so if you are still here and you're on Rumble, shout it out, you guys. And actually, Scott just got here. Scott, I can put you on the wheel as well. But if you're on Rumble, we're gonna add you an additional time. Additional time. Let's go, Kayla. Let's see, Diane. Anybody else on the Rumble? Got 8 Rumblers in the house, mostly non-commenting Rumblers, but that's okay. I've just once would like to talk to some of these people that have been watching me for years but never once commented. Um, just to be just interested, you know, like what is it that you because a lot of the live streaming community has a connection by like commenting with each other in the live chat and having conversations and getting to know each other that way. But then you have people out there they might watch the chat, but they don't ever chat, but they also are coming back consistently and watching the show. So it's like it's very interesting. I wonder what it is that they like. Maybe is the content, or is it the whole community in general? Dawn, hey, I gotcha. Andrew, I already got you on once from the Facebook side. You got to come to Rumble to get an additional spot on the wheel. You got to do it. I mean, you don't have to come to Rumble, but you do have to come over here for an extra spot. That's for sure. The way I've been doing it, if anyone cares, is that, in fact, let's do this real quick here. The way I've been doing this is that you get a spot on the door prize wheel for commenting on Facebook, commenting on Rumble, YouTube, or locals if we're live on locals that day. And then you get an additional spot if you are on Rumble at the end of the show. So 2 spots on Rumble, YouTube, and Facebook. So 4 chances altogether if you got it. 4 chances altogether. And I'm giving out less of those coupons, so this is a good way to make extra coupons. Shouts out to Brenda she used I think like 20 or 30 coupons for a bunch of things. So definitely consider using the coupons that you have for all of our sponsors, for game night sponsors, because that helps them. It helps me because it's helping them, and it helps you because you're getting to use your credit. So it's all good. I think I've made a nice little system here that's a win-win for everybody. 70 degrees today, Diane. Diane, I took my dogs for a little walk before the show. It was nice and sunny. Oh yeah, it was good. It was good. All right. I don't know. I guess the big wheel's better. Big wheels keep on turning. Andrew, if you need the link to get over to Rumble, I can help you, bro. Uh, okay, making sure I got everybody. Did I get Kyle? Did I get you, Kyle? I did. Alright, that's enough. Can't wait all day. Check the time. Andrew, I haven't seen you say anything, brother, so I'm going to go ahead and do the spin. If the person's not here, though, I will adjust if you find your way over to Rumble. Cheers. Guess I can have a little talk with you guys. Remember to change the water out in your water pieces. Andrew, that's funny. And he found his way over there as it comes up with his name. That is funny. Both winners today had the letter A. Their name started with the letter A. Interesting. Well, there you go, my guy. Problem solved. No harm, no foul. There you go. You win. That's funny. And awesome at the same time, Andrew. Way to go, brother. Thanks for coming over to Rumble. I appreciate that because, that's the best place for me right now. Speaking of which, we could probably do our last raid. I know we only have a few people in here, but that would be a good time to get the raid done. Let's get a little raid done with just a couple people. We'll do that. Let's go to entertainment. Where did it go? Entertainment. Let's find some a smaller stream. I don't know if I'll find one smaller than the 5 people that are in here, but we'll find one about the same size. About that. Try not to laugh. Impossible. Funny videos and memes. That seems pretty fun. Let's do that. Oh, here we go. Trying not to. There's 10 people watching these funny videos. Seems like, oh, there he goes. Hey, Boncho. I don't think he's broke in. All right. I think we could do this. Uh-oh. What's going to happen here? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What's going to happen with this nice car? Boom. Just right into it. Kablow. That's not that funny. Kind of funny. All right. Copy. That's what we're gonna raid that channel, and I might follow that channel. It's kind of fun. Boom. You're welcome to go over and raid the channel. Funny stuff. I'm gonna throw him a follow. got a lot more likes than I do, but he probably just runs this for many, many hours at a time. Just a little kid random. What happened there? Alright, I better not play this anymore on my screen because it could be copyrighted stuff. I don't know. There's 3 downvotes on it. 3 dislikes on the guy's stream. That's funny. Well, we did a raid. Very cool. Congrats, everybody. Refresh this. And we got a new follower today. That's awesome. 611. We're less than 100 away from our 710, our soft 710 goal. And you know, I'd like to get to 1,000 though on Rumble. Of course, would be nice. Oh, tomorrow night, people in the boxes. We're gonna do current events, see what's happening with the crew, what's been going on, and some of it might have to do with current, like, you know, big stories going on in the country and in the world and such. So come back and join us for the game Story Boxes. You can play from the comments and actually get more chances to win the door prize by doing that. It's called Story Boxes, and it's all about, you know, guessing whose story or who wrote the story that we read, and we talk about it. It's a good time tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Time. So we'll see you then. Guys, remember, everybody's got to eat. And I'll head over to locals right now for a little bit. A little after sesh, if you will. We'll see you there in just a minute. Thanks, everybody. Peace.
Yeah, this is for my green thumbs in the game. Wailing the indoor farmer, check my name. Sustainability, we about to reclaim. This is how we do it, keep it in the frame. I'm wailing the farmer, the indoor king. Living off the grid, what the city can't bring. Got my hydro set up, my LED lights. Growing all my greens, all through the night. Self-sustain, that's the mission. Growing my own, I'm not missing. Indoor farming, the hustle's real. Whalen's here, and